1972, Julia Ward Howe called for a woman to join in support of disarmament and asked for 2nd June of 1872 to be established as a Mother's Day for peace. And this Mother's Day for 1872 was a movement towards a peace movement calling for mothers to participate. Her 1870 appeal to womanhood throughout the world is sometimes referred to as a Mother's Day proclamation. But Howe's Day was not for honoring mothers, but for organizing pacifist mothers against war. If her proclamation passed, then it would have been the 2nd June that we will celebrate Mother's Day. However, it's the second Sunday of May. The current celebration of Mother's Day was created by Anna Jarvis in Crackton, West Virginia in 1908, which is 38 years later, the first attempt. In 1908, she celebrated her mothers, as in behalf of her mothers, she celebrated the first Mother's Day. And then, 6 years later, in 1914, the President Woodrow Wilson passed it onto making a national holiday, the second Sunday of May, to be the Mother's Day. As I shared briefly with you, May 8th is the Parents' Day for Korea. And in Korea, the coronation expresses our admiration, love, and gratitude. And that's why we share the coronation. But if you happen to have a pink carnation, it has a historical background, and it's somewhat symbolic. According to a Christian legend, the carnation first appeared on earth as Jesus carried on his cross. The Virgin Mary shed tears at Jesus' plight, and carnation sprang up from where her tears fell. Thus, the pink carnation became the symbol of mother's undying love. Quite a surprise for me. The pink carnation represents undying love of mother. 2 weeks ago, the part of the sermon we play a game in the beginning of the sermon by fill in the blanks. I've asked you, God is blank, and you fill it in the blank. Today I would like to play this same game, however, the sentence is different. So here, let us think about what you can use, any adjective or verb, anything to fill in this blank. Mother is blank. Just spend about 30 seconds or 1 minute to think about this. You need a paper to jot down. Forever. Forever? Mother is forever.
Nurturing.
Nurturing. Mother is nurturing. Yes, Lauren.
Sacred.
Sacred. Mother is sacred.
Loving.
Mother is loving. Joe? Yes. Teresa?
Busy.
Mother is busy.
Worried.
Worried. Mother is worried.
Tired.
Mother is tired.
Thankful.
Mother is thankful.
Friend.
Friend. Mother is friend. Can I hear from gentlemen here? Mother is blank.
Giving.
Giving.
Human.
Human? Is it human? Mother is human. Okay.
The greatest.
The greatest. Mother is the greatest. And you can already see, I will play the same game in the Father's Day. Father is blank, so be prepared. But let me ask you one more question. And I want you to help me to understand and help me to prepare the sermon together. How about that? What I mean by is this. If we have to choose one verse out of what we read today to best represent mother or mother's love, what would it be? The passage that we just read today, if we have to pick one verse to best represent, best demonstrate our mother or our mother's love, what would it be? This is slightly more challenging. Anyone? So I'm actually forcing you to, referring the passage that we just read today. Anyone want to share your thoughts? Any brave soul attempt? I'd like to hear from you. Just one verse. Just one verse.
Are we just doing it from Psalm 98? Is that what we're looking?
We're looking, no, Gospel, John 15, yes, John 15, 9 through 17. Okay.
I've said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete.
Thank you for sharing. Does that speak loud to your heart? I mean, does that speak to you what your view of mother, your imagination of mother? Anyone else?
I would say verse 9, as long as you could change father to mother. I think a parent's love is our first experience of unconditional love, and that's how we learn how to love.
As the mother has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. That verse. Okay. Anyone else? Then I would love to share mine. Can hardly find the verse, but it's in mine here. It says, "You did not choose me, but I chose you."
16.
16. Thank you. You did not choose me, but I chose you. As a children, or as a mother, I mean, I'm the first witness of this. We, Rose and I, did not. Well, I mean, the coming Joseph will not choose his parents to be, but parents chose Joseph. And we chose to be the parents, just like the mothers chose to be the mother of their children. A lot of times, we use a lot of father language to describe God. And I hear that. But oftentimes, when I relate God's love, I immediately think mother. And one of it is because of my personal experience with my mom. She not only was mother, but she was a spiritual mother as well for me. As growing up in a half-Christian family, she was the guidepost. She was a guide for me to be a spiritual person. Not only just a spiritual person, but a person, the whole being. Body, mind, and spirit. She taught me all that. Through her nurturing, through her teaching, sometimes through her yelling. But she was so significant in my life, especially for me being a Christian. Christian mothers, the love the mother has for their children. I can best exemplify that in God's love. You did not choose me, but I chose you. I think that's exactly what God is telling us today. We did not choose God, but God chose us. God chose us through His Son, Jesus Christ, by giving His own Son to us. And I can't imagine what that means, really. I mean, we don't have Joseph yet, but if Joseph is there, and I can't imagine if I have to sacrifice my son for many. For me, at this point, I don't think that's even possible. Because I so love my son. He's not even here yet, but I love him so much. And how can I give my son to anyone? But God did. God did. You did not choose me, but God chose you. God decided to give His Son to us so that we may turn to Him, so that we may turn to God and know who God is. God is love. And God is love. And His love is like mother's love. And I would like to share with you first ABCD of mother's love. What I observed from mother's love. In those ABCDs, hopefully we can share that. Hopefully we can attach that to God's love. The mother's love I found 4 ABCD. First, sense of assurance. Through mother's love, I find a sense of assurance that I'm with someone, that I can trust someone. B, sense of belonging. I definitely belong to someone. I definitely belong to my mom, the family. C, sense of caring. I think we all fill in that blanks and it all speak to that. Sense of caring. Yes. Mother's love definitely has an innate nature of it itself, caring. D, sense of dependence. Mother's love draws close to herself, that we are dependent on her love. Our identity, how my identity was shaped throughout my childhood. Her love is dependent on us, and we are dependent on her love. And if we can tie that into this ABCD to God's love, I think it speaks to us the same. Sense of assurance that we know and we trust God. This assurance of our salvation. And the sense of belonging. The sense of belonging that we are God's children, beloved children. And C, sense of caring. Sometimes hard to believe, but this living God is protecting us 24/7. The sense of caring through God's love. And lastly, but not least, sense of dependence. For the couple weeks I've been sharing, God is blank. And a couple sermons that I shared with you, God is good shepherd, God is vine dresser. If you can think carefully of those relationships, good shepherd and sheep, and vine dresser and vine itself, the branches, all the relationships are dependent on the person who gives a protection or person who gives a caring. Good shepherd, the sheep and shepherd. Sheep without shepherd, you can already see the destination. And the vine without vine dresser, you can already see. The relationship is so connected. The relationship is so dependent on the person who gives the caring and protection. Just like how mother gives us the caring and protection for their children, God provides us an eternal protection and care. And as we today celebrate Mother's Day, I can best exemplify this mother's love with God's love. And for that very reason, I think you already read my mind. Someone was saying, sacred. Mother is sacred. Mother is sacred. Your presence, not only your acts, but your very presence itself means a lot to us. And it means a lot to me. Because you best demonstrate God's love. And I believe you, all the mothers, are the one who best demonstrate God's love for us. Best way for someone to know God's love, go see your mom, their love. Undying, full of caring, well, sometimes full of yelling, but full of loving. Loving not only through words, but through actions. And may God's love speak to us like mother's love to us. And may, as we celebrate Mother's Day today, I want us to think God's love for us. And I also want us to thank our mother, especially today. Because mother is sacred, because mother is loving, because mother is the greatest. And thank you for mothers who are here. And fathers, our days will come next month. Let us pray.